What's up, honeys? It's KingBritneyChanel, you already know, and I'm back with another video. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing the finale of L Time's series. I'm going to be pinpointing on some subjects like Joy and Az, as well as, their parents, and, Joy's situation with Kay, as well as Dom telling her story. So stay tuned and watch. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit your notification bell and click all notifications for my channel so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. And I hope y'all enjoy my commentary on this. Alright, honey, so y'all know I did the video previously where I talked about Dom, how it was just spectacular that she was going to be telling her story like for the first time on camera. So I went back and I watched Dominique's part, right? Dominique G is who we're talking about, and it was like, wow, like, I mean, I fully believe that it was a lot of manipulation going on, but I'm glad that those girls, when they was there for each other. You could tell it was a lot of love and a lot of like sisterhood that was there. Like they really cared for each other, and I feel like that's what I think Dominique was saying. That's what kept her there so long, is because it's like, I'm there and I'm going through all of this, because it was kind of like a trauma bonding type of situation. They going through all of what they was going through, like the manipulation and stuff. They all was going through it together. So it's like they was looking out for each other, not trying to snitch each other out. Like if one person did whatever, it's like they acting like, oh, I don't know. But it was wild how we heard the story of Dominique, how she eventually got the short hair because her mother Michelle, when she was telling the girl's story, she talked about how her daughter, beautiful girl, long luxurious looking hair, her natural hair. And from the story that Dominique told, she was saying that she was the more rebellious one. Like, if she wanted to go to the ladies' room and stuff like that, it's like, okay, who's sitting there and wants to hold it all that time? Or she was talking about how she was out at a party or some type of an event with him, and he was like, come here, and she like, I'm tired, I didn't want to get up. And her disobeying him had caused a situation to where he was, I guess, pulling her by the hair to where globs of her hair was coming out. And now we figured out the backstory of that was that she kind of was the one that was kind of standing up a little bit more for herself in a more rebellious type of way. That's what she was known as, the rebellious one. And then it's like, she said she was combing her hair and the hair was coming out, I guess, in glops, to where it's like, okay, I guess her or Kay, one of them was like, okay, well, we might as well just cut this off, because I guess, somebody pulling your hair and it's coming out, that's like an alopecia type of situation. You like, okay, we're gonna have to start over. So I was like, wow, just to hear that, just to hear, we see the scenes of the mother pulling up to the hotel, trying to get in contact, Michelle, her mother, trying to get in contact with Dominique. Like, it was just like, to see the tears and the emotions flowing, because imagine that, like, you not seeing your child. Imagine, like, you got a little brother at home, because she had a little brother at home, and he like, why is my sister not here? Why she can't be at my graduation? What, like, what's up? Like, your siblings is looking for you. And Dominique opens up and she's like, she's missing out on family events because she's asking him, because she left one time before, right? When they was out, I could think in LA, when we seen them on TMZ and all that. That's when she, I guess, left up out of there. Okay, so imagine that. She was saying, I guess, her being that brave enough to do that, because you could tell she was brave for real, for real. She left up out of there, got her stuff. She had wrote, I guess Joy was out there with her. She wrote Joy a note, left that first time. And somehow I think she ended up back at the situation because she, I guess, missing the sisterhood, the bond that she had with Joy and them. She wanted to, get back in with that. So that's how he came up with them writing all these notes, because if they would leave and stuff, he would be like, oh, I got these people, trying to be around me, trying to get money and all this stuff. So he would have them, Jay Pace talked about it too, how he would have them, oh, well, why don't you write a letter or something to say, that this story happened or whatever, just to kind of get them to look a certain way in case he had to ever use it on them. And I'm just like, that is calculated, that is manipulative. Like, to have that girl, because her mother, Dom's mother Michelle, talked about it, how he was trying to imply that she was, I guess, putting the pause on her or not being very kind to her daughter. So, and she was just looking, honey, she had her little blonde crop and was looking like, boo, that is a lie. She had bobbing and stuff. I was like, the fact that he just did this to all these families, I was just looking at the TV just disgusted. Like, these people are missing their family gatherings, just, a sense of community, a sense of love, all for this individual that is just, oh my God. Like, I was crying a little bit on Dom's part, because it's like, just to know that she kind of overcame all of that. And now, like, it's a beautiful thing, because what they said at the time of the series, that she's with child and everything, just that you went through all of that. Like, you didn't have like the bond with your mom or your brother and your family, and that she just had, a love for the sisters that she developed through this whole situation. And I was like, wow. So they developed this sisterhood. Now, here go the part that I was like, because a lot of people was saying that, Kay was promising these girls careers and stuff like that, and then he got up on Gayle King trying to act like, that's not what this was about and all of that. Folks want to get up on Gayle King acting like they ain't have careers. We gonna get to that. Want to have a music career, I mean. But they supposedly, I think it was Joy, as Dom, all was supposed to be in this girl group, this supposed girl group. I was like, what? So dude was out here making promises, and then you had different people talking about it. Like, a rumor that was swirling around was that he was promising Joy, oh, you could be the next, Ali or whatever. That was a rumor that was swirling around. So it was just apparent that that was the game that was being played. He was basically choosing different types of people because they obviously had different vulnerabilities. And people, if you think about it, think about Kay's situation. Kay and his brothers talked about it. They went through situations to where they went through hurt as, kids, right? So think about this. The women in his life, maybe he felt like he wasn't protected as a kid. You feel what I'm saying? By the woman maternal figure in his life. Therefore, sometimes when that sort of situation happens to you, men sometimes, or, happens to men or women, they start to despise the other, the opposite group. You feel me? So if you a woman, the opposite group is going to be a man. You get what I'm saying? So if he went through a situation to where, he saw stuff before he was supposed to see some things, he could have developed, a hurt to where, okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to grow up and I'm going to get the women that did that to me. Or I'm going to get this person, I'm going to be this type of person. And that's how that entity formed. Because I'm like, okay, it's clear that he's picking different types of people that have hurt or vulnerabilities that he could capitalize on. Because if you hear some of the stories, it's just like a lot. And then to hear that Dominique was even introduced to this whole situation from Jay Pace was like, yo, like she's, young girl, just happy to be, happy to be around somebody that they're looking up to, like a K, like a singer that has accomplished all this stuff. And she's like, wow, I could bring, Jay Pace is like, I could bring my friend, to the studio. And he starts to try to be divisive. So she like, okay, well, did you ever call such and such? Okay, so he like, nah, you don't need to, you don't need to be friends with this person. So he tried to have them women in there divided. Don't talk to this person. So it was just like a come in, control and conquer type of situation. So he was very, people might say or believe the hype that he is not that bright. When it comes to certain situations or certain entities, boo, oh no, they are very they're very cunning. And I think that's why Yahweh says that his people perish due to the lack of knowledge. Because the other team, people that's playing for the other team, if you team light, then you know what the other team is, right? They are on their grind every night and day trying to figure out how to undermine you. So that's why you got to pray and be vigilant daily so that you don't fall into these traps that they have. Because literally, if you have any hurt or things in your life and you're going through stuff, there's people that are, or I would say spirits that's trying to pinpoint how they gonna navigate or get the opening into your life. And that's what I'm seeing. Like, it's like a repeated pattern. Maybe women who had low self-esteem, they may have been going through relationships that were not ideal. Like, we heard Lanita's story where, her husband was doing the most and, she wasn't feeling like she was valued in her community, and that caused self-esteem. And then she tried to lean on K, you get what I'm saying, as a big brother and for guidance. And that he sensed that. He was like, oh, I feel weakness. I sense weakness. Let me capitalize on that. He knows that a lot of these young women, they wanted careers. They had aspirations to maybe get out of poverty, out the hood, out of a disparaging situation, maybe just to even be valued. Like we saw with Lanita, like a sense of wanting to be valued and validation, right? So with Dom and the rest of these people, the sense of wanting to belong or to be a part of something or to, be around celebrity. Some people just wanted to be around celebrity, like, because celebrities, if you think about it, people feel like everybody loves them. You know what I mean? They have a sense of love and they get attention and different things that come with that. So if you're a person that you're not getting that in your everyday life, you may aspire to be that. But I feel like that's the game. How a lot of these celebrity people that be doing this type of stuff, how they get these everyday people sucked into this mess. It's the looking for the vulnerabilities, I'm telling y'all. So when I heard that he was trying to, get them a supposed girl group and these promises that went unfulfilled, I was like, wow. Because when they told Joy's story, I wanted to be like, wow. So he was really, really running game. They had, I guess, her songwriter and producer speaking out about the Joy situation. And to find out that she initially did not want to go meeting with him by herself and stuff, and she wanted to bring the songwriter, and he was making up all these bogus excuses. That's because here go the manipulation. If you're a person that's trying to get somebody off by themselves, you don't want another man coming around. So you position it like, oh, well, I'm, he probably was like, I'm K and I'm multi this, and get what I'm saying? Like, why are you trying to bring this songwriter if you want me to produce and do your stuff for you? So I was like, wow, the manipulation is real. Just to hear Joy's sister, Jay, say that she had not seen her sister, and they sitting outside the towers calling just to get a check done to make sure she was, alive. You feel me? Like, and they sitting outside. She, Jay is talking about how she's, oh, I really want to see my sister. Just the thought of being around her, because if you missing your sibling, you got, the younger sister also out there, the mom, the dad, they all out there just wanting to make sure that she was okay, and the fact that she wasn't there. Now, I think with a lot of these families, I think that, you know, everything wasn't done ideal. I still feel like there's a love there, and I feel like it's a lot. We saw from the visuals a lot of frustration and a lot of things that could have been, you know, done another way. But when you in a situation to where it's like this, we ain't never seen nothing like this. K has been sensationalized. Like, he is going down in history. They put his name with the likeness of the Genovese family and these other type of families at the level that this is, man, he going down in history. This is historical, okay? So just to hear that, you know, she's off at college, you know, her mama, Joy's mama, starts to talk about how she missing classes, and they basically was like, they wanted her to be done with the singing stuff, because obviously it was some lies being told. She wasn't necessarily going places that she said she was going. She wasn't attending her classes regularly. And the one thing that stuck out to me is that the songwriter and the producer, they mentioned that she was saying that she was flying to different modeling and acting type of stuff. And apparently that's not what she was doing. She was flying to go meet up with old boy. Old boy is sitting there making all these promises like, oh, you probably, I'm gonna help you with your music. They showed her, you know, at the studio and different stuff like that. And apparently the first time she flew, it was an encounter, because he showed up at her hotel space, and oh, don't think of it as a negative thing. Like, that's them, honey. That's them negative spirits, honey, or them, you know, them off spirits that be trying to get you to get into agreement and get permissions to they off activity, because he already knew what type of time he was on with a lot of these young women. What the goal was. The goal is to, I got to get you ducked off by yourself so that I can move in on you. And I'm glad they showed this, because these is real people outside of the people that we heard from, you know, her parents. You get to see people that was around her, like the, you know, the songwriter, the producer, that's like, she very much wanted to do music, and it turned into something that was not that. And the parents wanted her to, you know, continue to do stuff like school and have a plan. Well, apparently that wasn't what happened, because it was, you know how you go on winter break when you're at college. After winter break, the family was like, honey, she was out. The dorm was cleaned out. Everything was just, they was like, what? So it was clear that a lot was going on with that situation. But once again, if we look at it, like, we going back to this Gayle King interview that was done, right? The story was, oh, we didn't want to do no music. And we could clearly see Joy very much wanted to do music. She was in the studio. We could clearly see, and I'm pointing this way, but y'all get y'all get what I'm saying. We could clearly see from the series that, okay, they're showing videos of you at the studio. You was very much interested in that. You know, we were getting the backstory of this supposed girl group and everything that's going on. And then if we switch over to Asri, because that's an interesting part too. Like I said, a lot of things when it comes to the families may not be ideal, but the most thing that I respected the most was them telling the story of Alice C, which is Asri's mom. Y'all know Asri's dad is Angelo, and we've seen a lot of Angelo, but I love that they showed Asri's mother, because it's nothing, you know, more beautiful than you seeing a mom going hard for her offspring. Like, it's a different type of heartbreak and a different type of pain when it comes to a mom not seeing her daughter, okay? Because just think about it. Your child is in your body for 9 months. You feel the kicking, the moving. You feel your child growing. And then it got to be a sickening experience to go from seeing your child, having your child grow inside of you, and then to go to not seeing that, like, that had me like, wow, this individual really was playing games out here. He really was messing up these people marriages, because it kind of caused a lot of frustration in the marriages. The children of Alice and Angelo, they spoke about what their parents' marriage was going through. I think they said 25 years, and the heartbreak of the mother, Alice, caused a lot of I'm sure the heartbreak, the feeling guilty, between the parents and stuff like that, caused a lot of turmoil on their marriage. And I was like, Alice, honey, real MVP, honey. She a rider. She a real MVP, honey. That was straight Baltimore, how she was rolling. I was like, yo, I want to see more of Alice, yo. They need to give Alice a show. I want to see more of Alice. Let me tell y'all, when they showed the part on the series where Kay was at a concert out in Florida, so the Alice and her son, which is Asri's brother, and his mom, y'all, they went out to the concert in the hopes that they was going to finally see Asri, because I think they said it had been like 3 years. Honey, it was straight Baltimore shutting it down, honey. When I tell y'all, like, I looked I'm looking at the series, the brother is like, okay, he performing, Kay is performing, and they could see Asri kind of like on the side of the stage. The brother said he don't know how his mother Alice got up on the stage, baby, but she was like, I'm a ride for mine. I'm gonna be a rider for mine. Like, she was over there trying to get to her daughter. So it was a lot of people, like, before this, running their mouth, acting like these people was not about that life, or like they wasn't trying to actively get to their daughters. But they were, though. Like, if you see, like, hearing that part, I was like, yo, that's a real mother right there. That's a real woman that was trying to get to her daughter in a desperate situation. And just to see that she went through that length or those measures is very commendable, because people don't really know what they would do. It's like, it was like, wow. So the brother is like, he ain't know how his mother got up there, but she said he was like, the only thing that had came between her was the security. And the security, they tried to, I guess, stop things. But I thought that was commendable that she tried to do that to get to her daughter. I know that lady probably was going through it, because Asri had got up on Gayle King talking about she didn't want to be a singer or none of that. And then now we could clearly see that was a bold-faced type of lie, because now she's getting back into her love of music. It just was stopped because she was in an unfortunate situation with Kay. Like, her mother, just to hear from the older sister and the brother say that, it was a lot of heartbreak that their mother went through. Their mother was, a hard worker, in between her having to work to provide, for her kids. She was, making Asri costumes and, helping her with her dance moves and stuff, trying to really help her daughter with her dream. Yeah, it was an unfortunate situation, because it seemed like before that Asri was fragile, from what Angelo had told us about what happened prior. She had like a relationship that did not go well, and it was some situations with that. So she was kind of a little fragile from maybe that situation. But once again, it goes back to Kay looking at people that have vulnerabilities. Because if it wasn't no healing from that situation, and you a person that you love hard, because that's what her family said, that she was a person that loved really hard, right? You would give all of yourself to the wrong type of person, or a person that's not necessarily deserving of that. So I was like, wow, this situation, I was like, after hearing these families and these people talk, I was like, honey, I'm in agreement with what that dude said. They need to give him some serious time for this, because it's clear that he was moving real foul in these streets. Like, he was really doing the most. Like, the fact that, you know, these people marriages, and I hope that they could repair their marriage, because they was I guess married for like 25 years. That's a long time. Even when it comes to Joy's family, it seemed like it was a lot of turmoil with their marriage too, because from audio and stuff that was released, it was like brink of divorce is from what they were saying in that audio. So it had to be rough on these people. Now, clearly from that Gayle interview, we seen that it was some definite manipulation going on with those young women. Somebody had DM me and asked me, like, did I think that Joy was still, I guess, under that? I don't know, but I feel like maybe it could be like a number of things. I don't know, but from what I see, it just seemed like maybe she could have been embarrassed about the measures that her family took. But I'm hoping that it could be repaired and they family could come back together, and that she just leave the K situation alone, because K gonna be in there for some time. I think he gonna be. I think it's really over with. You know, for 30 years he got away and got away and got away because of money, celebrity status, and it's just very apparent that, you know, some people, they just wanted to continue to step and dance, and they felt like, oh, you know, his art is this. Because I wasn't trying to hear none of what they was trying to say about, oh, it's art or whatever. You have to realize what he was getting his inspiration from, or what the muse was behind the activity that inspired some of these songs. Imagine how the people who was affected by this is reacting to the songs, like with the Lanita lady. You done came out with a song about braiding hair, talking about come braid my hair and all of this stuff, knowing what happened with the lady. Like, I feel like I said, honey, I fully believe these people's stories. I don't believe everybody out here is lying on old boy. It might be, you know, some people bandwagoning and doing little stuff, and maybe at this point in time they could be using their trauma as a payday. But I still feel like, regardless of that he's responsible for doing this to these people. I really do. I firmly believe that. It's just way too much to try to overlook this. I mean, it's been 30 years, and ever since the 90s up until now, it been stuff going on. Now, I definitely feel like, you know, hurt individuals, because a lot of these people had hurt before they met Kay. Hurt individuals who do not take the time to repair or to heal, because you have to have a period of healing. You will overlook certain red flags, okay? Because I wanted to clarify that from when I did the Lanita video, okay? Because a lot of y'all was getting the wrong impression. What I meant was, it was some issues prior. And because it wasn't no healing, or the work wasn't put in to get proper healing or counseling, that's how you could become a victim to these type of situations. And we got to talk about this in our community, because it's a lot of people that are carrying hurt and things from their childhood, things that are unresolved in their life, and hurt people grow up to hurt other people, or they end up being in similar situations, and the pattern will not break unless you acknowledge that you have to put some type of work in to be like, okay, the person who hurt me is responsible for hurting me, but I'm responsible for my own personal growth and healing, okay? Because that's what you're responsible for outside of that. So that's what I was trying to communicate with that. Like, it just seemed like this was going on because counseling and other things was not acknowledged before this. Or, you know, people who may not have had the best, you know, parenting with their parents was falling into, you know, this whole situation with Kay, and he just was taking advantage of all of it. So just to clear that up. But I mean, definitely, I feel like the finale was a good finale. Some of y'all, thank you to the person who said why they felt like Lisa and Drea didn't participate due to the whole the two women, I guess Jen and the other lady Lindsay, being in the program. And I firmly just feel like they only saying what they saying because who is in their right mind is going to admit that they were seeing different strange stuff if they, were assistants and stuff to people. Because what the tea is, or what people are claiming, is that the assistants and different people were enabling certain stuff. So of course, legally, you gonna get up on TV like I don't know nothing. So now in hindsight, after I spoke to, different people that I know and had conversations, now it all makes sense to me why they had that perspective that they had. You feel me? So I guess, if y'all saying that's why they decided not to participate because it was messiness or whatever. Because I really thought it was just going to be some real shifty stuff the way they was making it sound. But to me, the second installment was way better to me than the first one because it kind of, the way that they ordered it was real good. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like they had, good people this time around. Good psychologists this time around. Not to say it wasn't good people on the first one, but it just, to me, the first one was a little bit, crazier than the second one. Because you had Charlotte all in the first one and all that. So this one was good because, you had people that didn't necessarily tell their story the first time. You had the way that a person like that is grown, or a spirit like that, or an entity like that is grown. You feel me? How it happens. Like, what was the situation, how it happened. And if you think about it, it was a repeated pattern. Think about it. They talked about Kay and what he went through as, as a youngin' or whatever, and what he went through, and think about how the settlements came to be, right? So the neighborhood guy that did what he did to Kay, he ended up, I guess, offering Kay's mama $5,000, and not to go forward, I guess, with whatever, right? So if you think about that, that's probably why he had that perspective. If I pay, all this go away, because that's what was accepted in that time period. The mom probably was in the hood. You feel what I'm saying? So $5,000, that's a lot to people that's not necessarily in a good economic or financial space. So think about, that's how that spirit of paying to make stuff go away, that's how that could have been introduced spiritually, if you think about it, where he thought it was okay. Or you may have had parents that was, he paid, breaking off that bread, everything is good. And he thought, the more and more you start getting away with stuff, the more gutsier you start getting. You like, I'm untouchable. And that's where the downfall of the whole situation came from. He thought he was untouchable. I could just pay and make it go away. But from what that council was saying, we need to be on these people for doing this type of stuff, and money shouldn't be able to make certain stuff go away. It shouldn't be able to make, if you doing negative stuff, you have to answer for them consequences of doing negative stuff. So I'm glad that we now have heard people that we didn't necessarily hear from, even though some of these people, they did speak to journalists and stuff prior to this. Seeing, honey, is believing. So I'm glad they had, Tiffany tell her story again. I was glad to see, like, a lot of these people are doing, other things. Like, people, I think Lanita had a nursing degree or something like that, or pursuing that some type of way. And you seen people starting nonprofits and different stuff. Jay Pace is a school teacher. So I'm glad to see that there's life on the other side of that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts on the finale. I'm glad that, they ended it off with talking about how Azri is back, I guess in connection with her people. And, hopefully she living her best life after that. And I'm just praying for Joy, that Joy, even, her, whatever situation it is between her and her peoples, get resolved. Because, I don't feel like life is short. I feel like life is very everlasting to those that's children of Yahweh. And I feel like Yahweh can resolve and heal so I'm praying for healing in the situation between her and her family, so that that could be mended, so maybe the healing process, and they could get back to being a family and that sort of thing. You know, we all make mistakes and we don't always do everything right, so hopefully she could understand, and you know, maybe her people ain't do everything right, but they human, and we could all work together to resolve certain issues so that we can get back on track, and that she have a healthy and prosperous life after K. Because boo, that's a wash. The relationship, that's a wash. He has to answer for things that he has done in his life personally, and I feel like she shouldn't waste her life, her youth, on a person that he lived his life, honey, the way he wanted to live it, whatever way he wanted to live it, and Yahweh gives us that choice to make. So you make certain choices, you have the free will to do so, but you better understand that whatever choice you make is consequences. So that's my thoughts on that. I hope y'all enjoyed my commentary on that. See y'all soon on the next video. Definitely, like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your peoples, hit that notification bell, and you know, frequent the channel so that you can receive all notifications when I drop videos. See y'all soon. Be blessed. Come shop with me now at my Teespring store, KingBritneyChanel Couture. I provide custom apparel and so much more for an affordable price. We have items like leggings, t-shirts, and hoodies. So thank you for shopping, and I hope that you enjoy. Hey honeys, thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't, definitely make sure you check out my Teespring, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where you can find my latest merch. I upload a lot of new designs frequently, so definitely make sure you check it out. We have mugs, we have wall tapestries, canvas art, pillows, fleece blankets, apparel, and so much more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video.